Welcome to the Wild Type Podcast. I'm Neptune Chameleon.
I'm Lyssa Lizards.
And we're your reptile girlies. Tis the season for expos.
Yes.
Because this upcoming weekend, September, was it 6th, 7th? We will be at the NARBC Dallas Reptile Show.
We're so excited. It's like one of our favorite ones to go to.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
Let's see, what is it? North American Breeders Reptile Conference.
Other way. NAR, so North American Reptile Breeders Conference. Almost had it.
Dang it. When I say NABRAC.
I remember I did a YouTube video years ago where I went to NARB, one of the NARBCs, and I remember I said it wrong. I think in the YouTube video I said, and it's on my channel, you can like go back and look at it. It's really funny, but I think I said North American, I don't know. I don't even remember what I said. I wish I did. I'll have to go look it up. But I said something totally that was not correct. It was like something crazy.
But that's where we'll be.
Yes.
So, and we will have a booth, which is exciting. Sometimes we go and attend. Sometimes we team up with someone. But this time we will have our own dedicated booth. Yes. If you attended in the spring show, we will be in the exact same location. Yeah. So if you come in to the entrance, swing left, and then you'll find us.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're right across from the Pangea booth again, right?
Yep.
So if you see Pangea's like big signs, just look out for a sparkly sign, a disco wall. We'll be right there. It's
very hard to miss.
Yeah, you really can't miss us. We do that on purpose.
You'll be able to meet us. We will have the remaining merch inventory that we have from our older designs, and we will have brand new inventory for our newer designs.
Woo woo!
So come check them out.
We did share on our Instagram story, so we like to share some of those things, sometimes on our Instagram story over there. So we posted those, and they are officially live on our online store.
Yes.
But we are also going to have them in person at the expos to buy too.
Yes, and if you buy them at the expo, we'll give you a little bit of a discount, and you don't have to pay shipping. Yeah. Versus online, you do have to deal with all that. But the designs are there, so don't feel like, oh man, I can't go to the show. I still want the cute shirt. We've got all the sizes up on the store, so check that out. Link in the description. And for all of you who DM us afterwards that say, I was gonna come up and say hi, but I wasn't sure or whatever, please say hi. That's
literally why we're there.
Yes.
Like the whole point is that we want to meet you guys.
Yes.
So please, I swear, we will never give you a dirty look. We will never be like, don't talk to me. Like we want to talk to everybody.
No, when we do these things, we are on our feet for like 98% of it.
Yes.
I usually don't end up eating lunch, which I guess we should probably work on that.
I never drink enough water.
No, because we're just so excited meeting you guys.
Yeah.
And if you see us running around, like feel free, stop, say hi.
Absolutely.
If you want to get a picture, that's not weird. Like we're probably going to ask you to be in one of our videos.
We actually, 9 times out of 10, if anybody says hi to us, even if you don't ask us for a picture, I'm usually like, hey, do you want to be in a quick clip for the podcast? And then we put it in a social clip. So
yes. Yes, please come say hi. Even if we've met you before, we'd love to chat again. And of course, if you have any cute nails, we always want to see those.
Absolutely.
People will get new reptiles and they'll come up to us and be like, look what I just got.
Honestly, that's my freaking favorite. That is my favorite when somebody's like, oh my gosh, hi, like Lyssa, Neptune. And then they're like, look what I just got. And then we geek out over it together. It's literally the greatest.
I'm like, what is it? Yeah. What's its name?
How old is it? Which breeder did you get it from? When was the hatch date? Like, I want to know everything.
All the details. So looking forward to that. I know we are going to be exhausted.
I know. Expo weekends always kill me.
Truly the best.
I know. But I'm like physically exhausted afterwards.
Yes, I'm like preparing myself for what's coming.
For good reason. We've had a long break. We are well rested.
We
are prepared.
Go. Expo season, bring it on. And of course, we'll always announce when we're going to an expo. Yes. Like I said, sometimes we attend, sometimes we vend. That rhymes, but we will see you guys there. So that's one thing to announce. Yeah. The other thing to announce is you got a new job.
I did. So I know I've like mentioned a couple of times, like especially talking about like getting my tattoos and like all that stuff. I've been going through like a big transformational like transition in my life.
Change,
big season of change. It's been kind of crazy, but for the last, I would say like I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks, I've been scaling down my business with my clients. So now like my business is just the reptile stuff. And I think I'm finally going to have more time for that, which is very, very exciting.
So guys, just to set the scene, she had 3 businesses.
Yeah.
Right? She had her like, we'll call like your big girl job,
Yes.
right? Where you were working with clients. Then you have Lyssa's Lizards. That's like business number 2. Then you had the podcast because that's its own business and workload and everything else.
I'll throw this out there too. The big girl job that I had, the clients that I had, I was managing 5 different brands across 3+ social media platforms, which equates to like 15 social accounts that I was managing, including my own, including the podcast, including.
Yes.
So like I truly have been like just getting rid of that and getting it back down to like the basics.
Girly.
Now I'm a corporate girly, so I got a real big girl job full time. And granted, my own business was a big girl job. I was very proud of it. It was a great time too for like the transition of like when I was getting married and wedding planning and getting Campbell and training him and like doing all these things.
You have that flexibility.
I'm really glad that I was working for myself for the last like 3 years for that reason. But I'm also really glad it's over because it's just like a lot of stress and it's a lot of like expectation and anxiety and everything falls on you and you like don't have a team and you don't have coworkers. And I even like hired people at a certain point and it was helpful, but it still didn't take everything off my plate and it certainly didn't relieve any of the anxiety.
No, and the reality of being an entrepreneur, because everyone's like, I want to work for myself because da-da-da. And I also have my own Neptune the Chameleon business. I've got a little dog sitting, job on the side there on top of what is my corporate big girl job.
Don't discredit yourself. You also have like 4 jobs.
That's what I'm saying. I just want the pod to know I'm like, I also know where you're coming from, even though I didn't run my own business at the scale that you did. But it's so like everyone wants to be an entrepreneur and like, oh, then I can dictate my own hours and whatever. But you truly don't stop working.
No, never.
Even when you're not working, you're still working because you're thinking of all the things you still have to do. You've got potentially people who are dependent on you. Like I hire a guy, like contractor to, edit my YouTube video. So like I technically have an employee. And so like there's just all these nuances. Don't get me started on tax season because that's a nightmare. Right? It's just like it's so much work and there's something so peaceful of being able to clock in and clock out.
Dude.
Clock in and clock out.
I cannot express. So I've officially been in this new job for 2 weeks, right? So I scaled down my business and it was pretty much done about a week ago. I still had like a couple of remaining things, but those are fully closed out this week. So I'm like fully done. I logged out of all of my social media clients the other day.
Just so nice.
Oh, I can't tell you how good that felt. And just the relief, like I think it was... I started my new job on a Monday, and I think it was on like Wednesday or Thursday. And I do have to go into the office a few days a week, which is a big adjustment, and that is like very physically exhausting.
We'll circle back on that.
Yeah, but I came home and I was like sitting on the couch, and it was like 5:30, and I looked at Logan and I was like, I don't know what to do. What do I? And he was like,
whatever you want.
That's what he said. He literally goes, you can do whatever you want. I was like, I can do whatever I want. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't have to think about work because it's back there.
Yep.
It's at the office.
That's what I'm saying. Being able to clock in and clock out.
The separation of like work and home is something I haven't had in over 3 years.
Physically.
The physical and mental.
Also,
and mental.
The mental. Yeah. And then if you clock out of your day job, you can choose to then work your quote unquote other jobs, right? Whether that's making content for Lyssa's Lizards or we're recording a podcast on a Monday night, even though both of us just like worked all day. Like, yes, we're still working, but like that's your own choice.
It's also, I think a big part of my struggle that I had was that all of my jobs were in the social media space, right? So all of it was content creation, all of it was social media strategy, all of it was thinking through everything on a social virality, trend-based like mentality. And so it was just, I was so spread thin on everything that like now the type of marketing, I'm still in marketing, but I'm doing a different type of marketing. So like 8 hours a day, I'm using my brain for I'm using a different part of my brain.
Yeah.
So, and then when I start doing podcast stuff or start doing like my own, content creation, whatever, I'm finally able to fully exercise my creative brain for that purpose. Whereas like I haven't been able to do that in the last 3 years because all my creative energy was being sucked into the black hole that was my clients.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's also something to be said. We did an episode, someone asked us, tips and tricks for like not doom scrolling on social media. And we're like, we're not the right people for that.
No, we're not.
But there's something to be said about like using that time to decompress and like turn your brain off and just enjoy content. But when you're doing social media at a professional level, you're not scrolling and just being entertained or learning. You're scrolling and your brain's thinking, okay, how can I make this trend and work it for my clients? How can I do this thing and engage over here?
For the reptiles, like for the podcast, for this and that. How can I do it becomes not fun anymore.
Right. And I feel that to a very small scale with training stuff. I'm like, okay, how could I turn this to be related to reptiles?
Everybody gets burnt out on it every once in a while.
But I would say 90% of my scrolling is for just like my own enjoyment.
Yeah.
And then there'll be that like 10% that I'm like, oh, I should do something with this.
I genuinely haven't been able to doom scroll for enjoyment.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Years. It's so great. And don't get me wrong, I have done it for enjoyment, and then I feel guilty and have anxiety about being able to doom scroll.
Oh, great.
With it. Yeah. So it's like, it's this cyclical thing, and I'm finally getting out of it. And like, I cannot express how freeing and relieving it is. Like, I literally feel like I can breathe again. I feel like I'm getting myself back. I feel like I feel like I'm about to go.
It's only been 2 weeks.
It's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited. It's just been great. And yeah. So
let's circle back to the office thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going from being 100% work from home. Well, you would go into the office like
once a month.
Really, though, working from home.
Yeah.
To now being in 3 days.
Yes.
I've been in the office 3 days. And by the time this episode comes out, I will be transitioning to be in the office full time. And so, like, that's a big hurdle of, like, trying to juggle that. And, like,
that's a lot.
I'm very nervous for September, guys, because it's going to be a big adjustment because it's like, okay, I've got my dog, my house, the podcast, like other hobbies and interests that I have. I've got this boyfriend, like I've got all like my friend. I'm just like, I have to feed myself.
Yeah, you have to have food. You have to have sustenance.
I've never been required to be in an office 5 days a week. And Ember's never lived where I had to do that. Like going from being remote to 3 days was an adjustment for both of us. I think more so her than me. And going in 5 days, I'm like, okay, I have a plan of like, this is when I'm going to exercise her. And I'm just going to have to be very diligent.
When you're going to exercise yourself.
I know. I don't want to be a potato. Like I need some activity to like stay sane and like have my mental time to just like breathe.
Decompress. Yeah.
So I have a schedule, I have a plan. It just does not have time to be a potato on the couch for 3 hours, which I really like doing.
Yeah, you need both.
Because I'm like, there'll be times where I'm like, I just didn't watch TV for 3 nights. And I was like, this is bizarre.
Yeah.
Because that's like my decompression time.
Oh, me too. Yeah, absolutely. You think I could go a week without a single reality TV show? Please.
That's what I'm saying.
Please.
So go easy on us if we look like zombies in September. Because one, we will have the Expo, which is a big weekend. Very excited, but it is a lot of work. And like we have to get all set up, and then we have to tear down everything, and then we're doing like sponsor partner dinners.
We are getting ourselves a wagon this time for carrying all of our junk into the Expo, which is a new thing, and we're very excited. It means less trips to the car.
That's true. But that should have happened a long time ago.
That should have happened 2 Expos ago. What were we thinking?
We were thinking we were balling on a budget.
Yeah.
We're like, no, we can't afford the $40 wagon.
We can afford a wagon, so we're going to get ourselves a wagon.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yes.
On this episode for paying for our
wagon sponsored by...
No, for real though. Thank you. Yes. Anyways, and buying shirts, that also helps too.
Thank you guys.
But yeah, so big. Is there anything else you want to like share with the job stuff?
I mean, I'm very excited. It's been so great so far for the last 2 weeks. Like I'm working with a couple of like at least one coworker that I've worked with before who is incredible, and she's like the reason I took the job, because I was like, if I get to work with you again, like it has to be good. And so it's just really nice. I already feel very at home, very comfortable. It's a new industry, which is taking a little bit of brain power to like wrap my head around, but I'm at least familiar with it enough in my past experience that I feel very confident, which is cool.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'm just very excited. I think it's going to be good. Yay. I can already feel my brain being like, oh, we can do all these fun things with reptile content now because we have time, and this will be, and I'm like, my brain is already starting to be more creative again, which is like so exciting because I haven't felt that in like forever. That's
so nice.
It's just, I literally feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off my shoulders, and I can't say enough good things about a corporate job right now.
Opposite position, because I'm like, the weight's about to get a lot heavier.
I know it is.
So I'm like, I post almost daily, I feel like, on a lot of my platforms.
You've still been doing better than I have.
And I do about 2 YouTube videos a month on top of everything else. And I'm like, that's not sustainable.
No.
Being in the office 5 days. So I'm like, okay, what can I realistically, and we've talked about this, like be consistent, but be realistic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, daily content is no longer realistic, especially in this transition period. Mm-hmm. Not to say I couldn't ramp back up to that, but I'm not going to set myself up for failure.
No.
So I'm like, okay, maybe like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I could do
like,
that. And then bulk film my stuff on like a Saturday. So then I can have my content edited on Sunday and then post it during, I'm just like,
I'm just very excited because we're polar opposites. Like,
I know. I'm like, brace for impact. And you're like, I feel lighter.
I know. I'm so sorry. But I'm excited because I haven't been posting daily. I haven't even been posting weekly most of the time, which has been so frustrating and a source of my anxiety and a source of my guilt and all these things.
Sure.
So, but now, like literally this weekend is the first weekend that I have nothing to do. So I'm literally planning on spending like 80% of my weekend in the reptile room, doing things, improving my enclosures, making content, saving and editing that content, like doing all these things. So it's just like, I finally feel like I'm going to be able to like get caught up on things versus I feel like you're like kind of scaling down what you've been doing.
That's 1,000% what's happening.
I'm so sorry.
Even though I have all these amazing babies and I've got all this stuff happening, I'm like in peak season of like, I could be making so much content, but I'm like, I truly do not have time.
No, nor the energy, especially like, going in. I went in, so my first week at work, I went in all 5 days because it was like, we have the option to work from home Mondays and Fridays, but my boss goes in on Fridays and I was like, it's my first week. I don't even have a single assignment. What am I going to be doing at home? Like, know, I have nothing to do. Why would I stay home why would I do that? Yeah. So I went in all 5 days and I was so exhausted.
That's me.
I know.
That's gonna be me.
I know.
I'm not ready.
So I'm saying like I understand and I'm so sorry.
And you have a partner
who's
taking care of Campbell.
That too.
Like
I don't even have to worry about that.
And I'm exhausted. And then Ember's been sleeping all day. And then she's like, Mom's home. And I'm like, and like, do I have food ready or do I need to like go grocery shopping? Do I have clean clothes? Is the floor covered in dog hair? Like, I don't even live with my significant other, so I'm like, okay, now I have to drive to like go.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a lot.
Anyways, I love my life. It's good.
It's really good, but give us lots of grace in September, please.
So let us know if you are an in-office girly or guy, or if you're like hybrid.
Are you an entrepreneur? Do you work in corporate? What's your vibe? Which
also,
do you
don't
prefer?
Have to share all your job details. You'll realize we're talking in very vague terms. Like, no one needs to know the nitty-gritties unless that's something that you want to share.
Yes.
So
agreed.
Okay. Also, with the start of September, we have back to school.
Woo,
Depending on where you live in the world, you could have gone back to school in August. Maybe you're not back to school quite yet, but we're kind of in that peak.
Yeah. Like, I would say like by September 1st, almost everybody's back to school, at least like
I know people who are like mid-September.
Really? No way. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So I really just...
It's all
depends.
Over the map.
Yes, it's very region specific.
Yeah.
But 'tis the season for back to school.
It also could vary because you could be going back to school yourself. You could be in high school. You could be in college. You could be, I don't even know, maybe you're in middle school or you have kids that are going to school.
Yep.
So it's like truly also all across the map there.
Yes, that's a great point. So with back to school, we've been sitting on this topic
6 months.
We were waiting.
We literally was like, this is perfect for back to school. Let's not use it for 6 months.
Put it over there. Classroom pets.
Yeah.
Okay. This is such an interesting topic because the idea of classroom pets and then obviously reptiles specifically. Should reptiles be classroom pets?
Everyone's been asking Pangea to make their PVC enclosures in even bigger sizes, and they have delivered.
Their new high-quality PVC enclosures are not only bigger at 22 by 17 by 36 inches, but they also feature easier assembly, better ventilation, and they're perfectly sized to fit side by side on your metal shelving units.
I can't wait to try these enclosures out for my new Caledonian geckos. They are perfect for your arboreal geckos, frogs, snakes, and even more. Check them out at PangeaReptile.com.
Okay, Neptune, what are your top 2 feeder bugs for all your critters?
Dubious for protein and black soldier fly larvae for lots of calcium.
Simpton offers a wide variety of insects like silkworms, dubia roaches, waxworms, and our favorites, black soldier fly larvae.
I've also heard the entomologists at Simpton have customized the diet of their black soldier fly larvae to maximize their calcium content, so there's no need to dust them with calcium.
So if you're interested in trying them out, use code THEWILDTYPE at SimptonBSF.com for 15% off your order. By now you've heard us talk all about Scratches, the social app that helps exotic pet owners like us find their people.
You can add photos of you and all your scaly babies, set your filter to reptiles, and start scrolling through your local pet parents who get it. Think of Scratches as your way of avoiding the ever-looming "so do you have any pets?" question. Whether you're looking for friendship, romance, or someone who can pet sit your critters, your community is just a new match away.
Download Scratches today and start connecting with reptile keepers in your area. Available on iOS and Android.
Now, you have a unique perspective.
I do.
Oh, you just tell.
Well, classroom pets are kind of how I got into reptile keeping.
Yes.
Literally. Like, yes, I was a Steve Irwin kid. Yes, I always loved reptiles as a kid and would chase geckos and all of that. I was obsessed with reptiles as a young kid, but it wasn't until my 7th grade science class that I realized that you could have reptiles in your home. And that was a light bulb moment for me of oh, I want all the critters. And specifically at the time, I wanted a leopard gecko, and that's where I ended up getting Charlie. But my intro into that in 7th grade was my science teacher this is wild, but she had a tokay gecko. Mm-hmm. She also had 2 leopard geckos who were cohabbed. She also had, I believe, a corn snake and maybe one other. For some reason, those are the only 3 that I really remember. But she had a male and female leopard gecko, a male tokay gecko, and a corn snake at least. And I got to essentially trial shoot my reptile era by taking them home for Christmas break and spring break. I took them home. And so this is so insane, but the first reptile I ever had in my house that I took care of was the tokay gecko.
Was the tokay gecko.
And I remember asking her if I could hold it. And she was like, absolutely not, never. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, have you ever seen a crocodile take a bite? They do that. And I was like, the death roll? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I won't ever touch it. Okay.
So did you end up taking entire enclosure with the lights and everything in your lights?
There weren't lights that I remember. Okay. Yeah, there were a lot of things wrong. It was also all paper towel and fake plants, which can be fine, but it was essentially a quarantine setup permanently was kind of the vibe. So
and how did your parents feel? Because I know it took your dad and your mom a lot of convincing to get Charlie in the first place. So were they cool?
They were super cool with it because it was temporary. Because it was so I had the tokay gecko for 2 weeks over Christmas break, and then over spring break, it was just 1 week. So it was
were you feeding them bugs and stuff? Yeah, and your parents were
no, my dad took me to PetSmart to get the crickets and didn't care. Okay. And my dad was always my dad's the one that finally was told my mom, she's getting the gecko. She's been asking for it for 4 years. We're getting her the gecko. So it finally, he was the one that really kind of was convinced. So my dad was always pretty chill with it. And my parents were pretty wonderful. They let us have all kinds of pets. I mean, we had turtles and frogs and even a rat at one point. I was very lucky to have parents that allowed a lot of pets. So they were fairly chill with it. But I think it was the permanence of having one in the home that my mom wasn't super thrilled about. Yeah. But the temporary, taking care of a class pet over the holiday, they were fine with.
So. Yeah, I think classroom pets, I don't recall in any of my school years having
Yeah.
a classroom pet. I know they're very much a thing and plenty of people do it. And I think there may be some reptiles that are better suited for classroom pets and then some that are not suited for classroom pets. So I don't want to just straight out be like classroom pets are a bad thing.
And classroom pets are what inspired me to get my own pets. So I'm not necessarily fully against it. I think where I'm against it, which was in my own situation, if I was a teacher and I had classroom pets, I would not allow the students to take it home, right? Like that's, even though it was great for me, I would allow the students to like after class learn how to take care of them, right? Like that to me, I feel like is a good potential like intro to like biology and like learning how to like care for an animal and like different things. Like I think that's an okay option, but I think like I just don't think that every teacher should willy-nilly have like an animal in their classroom for kids to interact with however they want.
It's a kind of similar of like, should kids have reptiles
in
general? In the happy scenario, depending on the age of the kid, is that like parents take ownership of knowing the care, responsibility, and then it's a learning opportunity for the kid to appropriately interact whatever capacity makes sense, whether they're helping with reptile chores or they're able to like safely, confidently handle them, like whatever the scenario may be, but it's not 100% on the kid to do all of that.
Exactly.
Whereas like the teachers can, learn alongside. I obviously deal with a lot of chameleons and a lot of people asking for a chameleon. So I just want to touch on this because this is where I have a lot of my experience of like, should a chameleon be a classroom pet? And I'm going to go with no. And this is where it kind of depends on, it depends on the species. I also think the age of the kids, right? Of like, how knowledgeable are they to understand, like you shouldn't be like tapping on the enclosure and we can't just like grab it and we can't just hold them and we can't, we've got to respect their boundaries and all these things. Like classroom pets can be such a fantastic tool and asset 100%. And opportunity to learn hands-on right in front of you. Chameleons are not it though.
No, they're not at all. I mean, it really depends on the type of pet, but like, if the teacher, in my opinion, is going to have these like, for example, a science teacher, a biology teacher, like if they want to have really cool bioactive enclosures to show the kids, like, this is how these plants work. This is how these
ecosystem, because you've got the little isopods and the springtails. And like, I distinctly remember, I want to say like 5th or 6th grade, our science teacher had us make these aquatic ecosystems.
Oh, cool.
And it was like a soda liter bottle. And
I totally did this too.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
You had like the soil, and then you had to grow your own grass, but then you had little guppies.
Yes.
And then it was like this whole little mini ecosystem. Yes. And there was always that extra lucky kid whose guppy was pregnant and then like would have a bunch of babies. And you're like, oh, you're so lucky you have all the guppy babies. But like, how cool is that?
Super cool.
To like learn about the ecosystem, and you're growing your grass and you're like measuring your grass.
Be a little bit hesitant on the guppy care
nowadays,
guppy care. But like,
I don't disagree.
But
is that like, water filtered? Absolutely not.
Like, should we put guppies in there? Probably not. Should we maybe create a terrarium without animals? Probably the way to go.
Right.
But
like learning how that works, you could totally achieve that
100%
with a bioactive setup. You can watch the poop slowly decompose as a little isopods.
Yeah. You can literally teach about like plants, like photosynthesis, like all that stuff. You could teach about so many cool things through animals, through
with like
terrariums.
A plant LED light and like hydration and humidity and temperatures and
like, I don't want to say no, reptiles shouldn't be classroom pets, because I think it can be done in such a beautifully wonderful, incredible, inspiring, teachable way.
Yes.
But does everybody do that?
Nope.
No. And I think a really good example, if you guys saw the Adam Sandler Leo movie on Netflix about, and it was a tuatara, which is hilarious because those would never be in America.
Like a tortoise?
And a tortoise, yeah. And so it was about those. I forgot about the tortoise. I was just thinking about Leo. But it did a great job. It actually showed the animals talking about their horror stories of going home with the kids and how like they had like scars and bruises and like all that stuff, which is why like I do think that movie did a half decent job of like teaching the potential dangers and like risks of that. Like
Yeah.
it definitely was more positive in the way of it, but they did, it was like, yeah, I don't think kids should ever take the animal home. Like I think the animal should live at the school during the summer and the breaks. It should live with the teacher, the adult who knows how to take care of it. Like, so I think that's my biggest disclaimer is like, I think it can be done well, but it has to be done efficiently.
You have to be mindful of the age of the kids,
Yes.
right? Of like, are they at the age where they can respect boundaries
Right.
and understand that this is a look at pet? Because you can't let one kid hold it and then not let everyone else hold it. Or it's like, this is your designated holding day. Like, how's that work?
Yeah.
So I think you want to pick a species that is hardy, that does well with high foot traffic. Because even if they're sitting there, like that, and that's why chameleons would not be recommended, because they're not a great species for high foot traffic, and they're easily like.
I'm having such a flashback right now. I totally forgot. I remember I went to private school until like 3rd grade, which is such like a weird thing in hindsight. But they had in the high school, they had a 10+ foot boa constrictor named Rosie. In the high school. It was the high school biology teacher. And I remember they had a huge enclosure. Granted, I was like 7, so it might not have been that big. You know, my kid brain.
It's all relative.
My kid brain, but it seemed really big. And I will never forget, we at the elementary school got to do like a tour of the high school. And I think they had just built like a fancy new high school building. So we like went to go tour it. And on the tour, they allowed us to like interact with this boa constrictor, and they had the boa like spread out on the floor, and all of us kids got to like go touch it and stuff. And I remember somebody in our group asked like, has the snake ever bitten anyone? And then I remember one of our teachers told us like 6 months later that the boa had bit a high school student. So I'm sure that was like some kind of like liability or something.
Oh,
like that definitely isn't a good move.
No, but I feel like a boa could be a really good option.
A good one, yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I would say like a ball python, probably not. Only in that they are in their hide most of the time.
Yeah.
Like not a really
they're just more
display.
They're much more finicky. I think if you had the right ball python with the right personality, maybe, but not any
your
ball python.
stereotypical ball python, I think would be difficult. But something like a corn snake could be good. A boa could be good.
Leopard geckos could be good. I think bearded dragons could be good in certain ways.
I would not do a crested gecko.
No, I would not.
Because they're nocturnal.
Unless it was like because of the nocturnal. You're right.
Yeah, they're nocturnal, so they're not going to be very active during the day.
Yeah.
And then the risk of like tail dropping.
Oh, yeah.
Like
absolutely.
I wouldn't want to do that. And then just like handling a crested gecko.
I was going to say not unless it was a permanent look, don't touch pet. But even then, I feel like having all that disruption in the classroom during the day would not do well for their cycle and like getting good sleep.
It would be hard to educate because you're not going to see it very
yeah.
often. So like really any nocturnal species I think would be
I agree.
Would be difficult. I think being mindful of like classroom lights, because I feel like they're never like totally off, right?
Oh, at night they are.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, at night they are.
I haven't been to a school like, but I feel like there's like offices sometimes leave their lights on.
My husband's got a family of teachers, so
I'm
I mean, I'm 99% sure. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I think maybe a tortoise could be.
I think that could be a good option. One of the smaller tortoises.
Yeah, I think that could be a good option, and you could learn about like the veggies and the diet and everything else that go with that, and that would be like a hardy species. Turtle, I think, could be done if you have the right setup. Yeah. Right. And you're able to manage like all the water and the changes and everything.
I obviously think a turtle would need to be like, look, don't touch as well, because that can spread a lot of germs and a lot of things.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But that could be a really cool like setup. And they wouldn't be too, messed with like a lot of the foot traffic that comes with being a classroom pet. I'd be curious with like bugs in general.
Yeah.
Of like, you like keep them, the bugs at the school, and then you're gut loading them and supplementing them. But then like, would there just be like a dubia roach that just like runs across the floor?
Fabulous question. I don't know.
Or a little cricket going boink, 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 boink.
Like, I don't know. That very well could be a thing. And also I could see some teachers, again, just my husband comes from a family of teachers, so I like sometimes hear about like the struggles that teachers go through. And I could very well see like a teacher having a hard time getting a bug eating animal approved for schools.
Right, because you're like, okay, so like I'm going to be keeping these bugs in the classroom.
Right, and like same with snakes. Like I could see them having a hard time getting that approved, not only by like the school, but also potentially by teachers. You know, like I could see that maybe being a problem, which is interesting.
What are your thoughts on a skink as a potential classroom pet?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I think that could be a good one, depending on their personality. Because I mean, Nilla, the minute that I'm in the reptile room, she's at the front of the enclosure. Like
I feel like Nilla would be a fantastic.
I think
classroom
she
pet.
would be a great classroom pet. Like I think that could be really cool. Yeah, I think that's a really good one. And like I said, Beardies, I think, lend itself in a similar way. Again, it has to be the right personality, has to be the good. But I think that could be fun because, you know, they're awake during the day. They're, you know, interested in what's going on.
They're hardy, right?
I think even just having like kids moving around and things like that could be like interesting people watching for them. Like, you know, they're highly engaging animals and they like to have enrichment of like things to look at and all that. So I could see that being a really good option. Yeah.
I think amphibians could also be
agreed
a good classroom pet.
As long as it is look, don't touch. For sure.
Oh yeah. At that point, you're kind of coming into like the, kind of like fish aquarium
almost like
territory.
Goldfish vibes. Yeah,
like
for
you
sure.
don't mess with it.
Yeah.
But like to have some like dart frogs could be really cool, or even some like salamanders could be really cool.
Absolutely.
And then those would absolutely be like beautiful bioactive setups that you could totally do.
Sure.
And I don't think the noise would be like
too much.
Too bad because they're active more at night, right? Than during the daytime.
I think it'd be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so like those could be really good options. I think an African fat tail
would be great.
Would be a good classroom pet.
Yes and no with the
right one though.
Yeah, because they are crepuscular. So
the same with like leopard gecko, right?
They sleep more at night, but they do kind of like come out a little bit in the early morning and the evening and stuff like that. So like maybe I could maybe see.
I think
it
if you had one that like was really food motivated, right?
Yes.
And you like fed it and everyone could kind of like.
And African fat tails compared to leopard geckos, I will say they do tend to be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like shy, a little bit more secretive. Like
coy.
Coy, that's a great word. I love that. Yes. Miss Dictionary over here. That's a good word. Yeah. So like a little bit more coy, a little bit, they like to hide a little bit more than leopard geckos. Leopard geckos, I would say, are a little bit more personable and social.
Okay.
So again, personality, I think, is everything. I think it would be super important for it to almost be the teacher's pet like first, and then the teacher kind of like suss out if the pet's personality lends itself to a classroom, right?
Yes.
Like
I think that's a great
like no matter what
tip.
pet, I think any teacher should like have it at home first, figure out its personality, see if it's social, see if it's personable, see if like...
Well, then you can know what its baseline is.
Exactly.
So then in a classroom environment, does it maintain that same baseline, or does it appetite decrease, or does its normal basking areas or hide areas like are more frequent or less frequented, you know, and like what its normal routine is, and then you can kind of make an adjustment from there. I do know a few people who are reptile keepers who are teachers and have classroom pets.
I do too.
As well.
Yeah.
There's one in particular who I've chatted with. They had a chameleon, and they breed ball pythons.
Oh, cool.
And use that as an opportunity to teach their students about the genetics.
That's super cool.
Ball pythons.
That's so
and everything.
Cool.
And so I don't know all the details of it. I don't know if they're just like taking pictures of what hatched at home, and I'll have to like dive a little deeper because I would be surprised that they would have them like at the school, but of like, hey guys, I'm breeding this and this. Like, what do we think? Or this gene is, you know,
recessive traits and all this stuff. Like, that's a very big like science teacher situation. Like, I think reptiles can lend itself really well in an educational environment. It just like everything, it has to be done the right way.
If done correctly. And for the right animal. Because I do think there could be a chameleon. Like I just said, I wouldn't recommend as a classroom pet, but there are some chameleons that are so chill that like do not care about foot traffic, aren't going to try and hide or get defensive. They're just chilling.
Barney was in my office for like 4 months and did a great job, and he wasn't stressed, and he actually healed in that because he had some issues before that. So like,
environmental issues.
Yeah. But so like, I had a chameleon that could have maybe,
Right.
But again, it's just, I wouldn't recommend it for like 99% of them.
No, and you would need to know that behavior and
Beforehand.
personality prior to putting them in that scenario. Neptune, for example, would have been a terrible
He probably would have died earlier.
premature death,
From
1,000%.
From stress alone.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Because I would just walk into the room, not even
Yeah.
look in his direction. He's
he'd
immediately
puff
like, you're gonna eat me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the amount of adrenaline going through that little body every time of fight or flight.
He would have lived in a chronic state of stress. Like,
Right. Not the right species or the right specific animal.
personality, none of it.
Yes. Yes. And I think a big thing when some of these enclosures in a high foot traffic area would be making sure you're providing lots of places to
Yes.
hide, regardless of the species. Because you want, even though they're chill, not super defensive, you want to make sure they have those opportunities to like retreat and feel safe.
Yeah.
So I think that's important too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's even more important in a classroom setting than it is in your home, right?
Yeah.
Like we stress lots of hides, lots of coverage, lots of security, no matter what the case is. But like in a classroom situation, that is like times 10. Like double their hides, double their hides, double the fake, or real plants, double the branches. Make sure you got, if it's a glass enclosure, make sure you got those sides covered up, the back covered up, like you got to go the full 9 yards.
Set them up for success, right? We're so excited to introduce the Reptile Girlies to our favorite reptile-friendly coffee and tea brand, Cold Blooded Caffeine. Our favorite thing about them is that they donate 5% of all their proceeds to wildlife conservation to ensure reptiles and amphibians have a place to call home in the wild, as well as in our homes.
And if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with herbal teas. So for any of our fellow tea lovers, they source some of the highest quality loose leaf teas in the world.
Cold-Blooded Caffeine offers a wide variety of coffee like their Rainforest Blend, single origin options, and collaborations with some of the biggest names in the reptile world.
For 25% off your first order, use code WILDTYPE at coldbloodedcaffeine.com. Are you looking for a new enclosure for one of your reptile babies? Be sure to check out Cages with a K. Each enclosure is made to order by their team in Minnesota, which means they can even do custom builds.
The enclosures are made from high-quality PVC with tempered glass doors allowing for superior heat and humidity retention. They offer screen tops, side vents, and belly heat customization options to ensure the ideal setup for any environment.
So whatever dream home you want built, Cages has you covered. Use code WILDTYPE50 to get $50 off any order over $300 at reptilecages.com.
Do you sell reptiles? Be sure to check out the Palm Street app, a place where you can have your very own live auctions to help find your reptiles' amazing homes in a community full of thousands of reptile lovers. To apply to be a seller, go to page.palmstreet.app/reptile.
They prioritize ethical breeding and trading practices, ensuring all reptiles on their platform come from responsible sources. Once approved, Palm Street's reptile team will guide you through every step, from setting up your reptile shop to going live for the first time. You'll get hands-on support to sell confidently, safely, and responsibly.
And this would be true of any high foot traffic area. Like if you wanted to have a reptile in, say, like a doctor's office. I did a consult with someone who had a chameleon in their tattoo shop. Like there's...
That's so crazy.
I was like on the call with them. I hear bzzz in the background. And I'm like, I can tell it like kind of looks like a tattoo shop. And I was like, are you in a tattoo shop? And she's like, yeah, my husband's a tattoo artist. Literally pans the camera. There's some guy like sprawled out on a table. And he's like getting a tattoo while we're talking about
that is so freaking
their
funny.
chameleon. And she asked me, she's like, do you think like it's okay to have this chameleon in this environment? And my answer was very much it depends.
Yeah.
It depends on the chameleon. I would say most chameleons are not going to do okay. And and she's like, we have an office. I was like, well, maybe just try.
That's a better
option. Because they were
option.
having some health issues, right? I'm like, okay, we can look at your care, but maybe it's environmental. I was like, good option would be to put them into the office, make sure they're like good and healthy, and then see if their personality and temperament lends itself to be in a higher foot traffic area, or if they're better off
at home.
Yeah.
So crazy.
But I was like,
hold on. You're like, what is that buzzing? What is that noise, ma'am?
I was like, is there someone in the background?
She's like, yeah. And this guy's just like,
no, seriously. It was like a whole,
so
I want to say it was like a big back tattoo or something.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Dang.
Anyways, it was very interesting. But
so wild.
I don't know. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are, though, because I do think it is very case by case. It is very nuanced. We are not trying to attack anyone who does have classroom pets. Just like I said, anything, though.
I was literally inspired by mine. So, like, I'm all for it in the right situation with the right animal in the right setting. And I know we have some teacher listeners too, so let us know your thoughts.
If you would consider, have you done it in the past? What worked, what didn't?
Are you currently doing it? Do you have classroom pets? If so, which ones do you have?
Yes.
Why did you choose those ones? How did that go? Like, I want to know everything.
Exactly. And a lot of this advice is true even just as like pet keepers.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
Like, if you have a home, part of your home that has a lot of foot traffic, then like you may want to be mindful of like what species you get.
Or like some people run their businesses out of their homes or like different things, like, you know, whatever the case may be. We're curious.
Yes. So let us know what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
So I think a skink could be really good though.
I think Nilla would have a great time. Nilla would love to watch the kids run around. She would genuinely love that.
That's what I'm saying.
She loves to creep up on whatever I'm doing. Like it's one of my favorite things when she's in the background of one of my videos, because I'll do some like unboxing videos and I'll be sitting in front and people in the comments are always like, "Hi Nilla, look at Nilla. What's she doing back there?" I'm just like,
Neptune would do that.
She's being nosy. That's what she does.
Yep, it's very cute. Okay, so last thing we were going to chat about, and we'll have to check in on how we're doing with time.
Yes.
I came across a TikTok, and I have a lot of nail videos, which is
I think we both do, honestly.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
But this is a different kind of nail video.
This blew my freaking mind when you told me about this, and we haven't discussed in depth because we were saving it for the pod. Because
ran the idea by you, and you're like, "Let's do it."
I was like, I immediately have so many thoughts.
It was a nail technician doing a manicure, but it was on a lady who had passed. So it was like a deceased mortician in the like funeral home, and she was doing a full manicure on
crazy.
And I mean this with the utmost respect to
Yeah,
this lady,
absolutely.
but this dead lady's hand, right? And so she had chipped nail polish. She removes it. She grinds down the cuticle and the nail, buffs them, shapes them, puts on nail tips, shapes those, buff those, does a fresh coat of polish, and this lady has this stunning manicure.
Wow.
For her funeral.
I have so many thoughts.
And it was this whole, like, and you were asking me, like, how did TikTok even allow?
Yeah, I was, like, kind of shocked because I was like, there's no way that like, TikTok's gotten, like, very, like, censored these days. So, like,
you could definitely tell
it wasn't.
That hand was not
living.
Yes.
That's so crazy. But because it was just the hand, I think it, like, skirted by TikTok's guidelines, which is wild to me.
But, like, what a rewarding job.
Truly.
Like, it takes a special type of person to be around deceased in general.
Absolutely.
And, like, in that kind of, like, industry, so to speak. But, like, to honor the dead by, like, giving them
their eternal nails is where my brain goes. My brain immediately goes to, like, these are her eternal nails. These are, like...
This is how she will be remembered. Remembered in her casket, surrounded by friends and family.
It was like such an honor.
Yes.
Such an honor. And I'm so curious about the nail tech. Like, how did you end up in this industry? How did you become a mortician nail person? Like,
was like, as she was like using the Dremel on like the cuticles, I'm like, you don't have to worry about cutting them and bleeding.
No. It's a little easier in that regard.
Yeah, I could probably move a little faster too. But
like, I want to know what her background is. I want to know how she fell into that. She was a professional. Oh, of course.
Like
you have to be.
She knew what she was doing.
You have to be.
But people do hair and makeup, right? Like they'll put a little rosy cheek, you know, because otherwise it's like
not so good.
Very dead looking.
Yes. Yes.
I know this is like a sensitive topic.
Yeah, we're trying to do this justice because it's fascinating and it's intriguing.
But I also want to speak very candidly of just like my thoughts on what it's a very fascinating process.
Just to cover our bases, we have so much respect for the people who have passed on that are in this position. We have so much respect for the nail technician who does this incredible job.
Works in this industry.
We're just fascinated by it because it feels so interesting and unique and different. And I was like, we have to talk. We have to discuss this.
But it prompts the question of like, would you want your nails done?
Yeah.
Like if that was presented, right? And your immediate answer was yes.
Absolutely.
I would probably, it depends on what state my nails are in.
Right.
This lady who had passed had like very chipped nails. Like,
if my nails are chipped, please get them done.
Yeah.
Please get them done. Also, like, then my brain immediately started spinning of like, how does one decide their eternal nails?
Did she decide, right?
Or
like, did she
did
pick,
her family
or
choose?
yes,
Right.
and it was like a very they were longer than what she had originally on her hand. Like, it was her natural nail, and they put tips on, and they were long and just square.
Okay.
So I'm like, was she known for that? Because it'd be weird for me to all of a sudden, while I'm like laying on my deathbed, have like square nails.
If you put square nails on me on my deathbed, you did not know me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
nobody in my family would be like, yeah, put square nails on my girl. Absolutely. No. Almond only.
Right. So it's like, okay, so you would want yours done. I would want mine done, as long as mine don't look like janky.
Yes.
Right. But if they're okay to just like
leave it be,
leave them as is, because that's just like capturing me in my
okay. But also
moment.
if I'm like 3 or 4 weeks with grown out nails, get them fresh.
Yes.
Get them fresh.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you want almond. I would also want my same round almond shape.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. But what do you do for your design?
Also, like, do you leave that in your will? Like, what do you...
The good news is this is documented.
Yeah. When I go, one of the reptile girlies better be finding my family on social media and letting them know this, okay?
Unless we go at the same time, which we spend a lot of time together.
Yeah,
so that's a possibility.
You can help me out.
But like, I will take care of your reptile babies, and I will make sure your nails are good.
Thank you.
It's the least I can do.
That is important. And the same goes for you, my friend.
The least I can do. But when we were chatting about this before we hit record, you were like, I think I would go something more simple.
Yeah.
I was taken back.
Really?
These are your eternal nails. And we did that whole ranking, smash or pass of nail designs, and you're like, I'm so over a French tip.
But let me be clear. When I say simple, I mean simple for me, right? Like,
what does that look like?
So for me, that would look like essentially some kind of chrome, right? You best give me some chrome.
Okay, maybe let's do this. I will guess what I would pick for you. It's not in your will. Ooh, I have to decide for you, because chrome was the first thing that popped into my head for you.
Absolutely.
Right? I could see, and again, you're dead and you didn't have any say in the matter, right? But I could see like chrome French tips.
I could see that too.
Right?
That'd be a vibe.
Like, it's just enough that it's like there, but it's not distracting.
Yes, exactly.
People are looking at you, and you're probably going to have like your hands crossed or by your side or whatever, right? And they're like crying all over you and whatever. But like, I think like a nice subtle pastel chrome, whether that's like a pink chrome or a purple chrome.
Truly, just for the record, and I've like put this on my Instagram too, my favorite neutral, which is not a neutral, is a light lavender with chrome.
Yes.
So like that would be my like safest thing that I would do. And I would be okay with those being my eternal nails, right? Like I'd be so good with that. I wouldn't do basic French. I wouldn't do like a light pink nude. I wouldn't do like those kind of things. Like I would not do. I would want it to be different but simple. Like I wouldn't want it to be my crazy neon stuff right now. You know
what you could do?
What?
You could actually get some gemstones or little bedazzlies.
That'd be cute.
Because you don't have to deal with washing your hair.
You're so right.
So you can enjoy how cute they are without having to deal with them because you're dead.
I love that idea. I'm going to be putting this in my will now.
Like little, okay, imagine a lavender chrome with like little pearl, like little accents or something.
Guys, I think we've decided my eternal nails.
Because you know how much of a pain your behind little pearls on your nails would be with your day-to-day? But you're dead.
Doesn't matter.
Get the little charms and bedazzlers.
Okay, what would yours be?
Well, what would you get for me?
Okay, what would I get for you?
Yeah.
I would probably do some, because you don't like as crazy as mine, right? You do like unique, you do like different, but I know you like your red nails. I would probably go red nails.
Just like a classic
red.
Red.
Like I really think that that's the way I would go with you.
Oh.
Because I feel
I'd
like
be good with that.
Yeah, like I think that is, I don't know, it's just like you've always liked the red nails. So to me that feels very you. It feels very on brand. It's not crazy. It's very uniform. Like, I think that would be, I would definitely want to see your outfit first to make sure that it
right.
like,
You don't want to clash. You want to be in burgundy and then you have red nails or something.
No. Like I would have to coordinate with your mom, like, or your family or whoever was in charge. Like I would have to coordinate to make sure that like the red nails matched the outfit. But if it did, I would go red nails for sure. That would be my first pick, I think.
I would be good.
Yeah.
With a good.
I think
a solid red nail. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe put a little strawberry on there because you really liked those nails too. I'd go for that. But I would keep it simple just because I know you like your uniform and all that.
For sure. I would be down for that. I'd also be down for like a solid color chrome.
Yeah. I could see that. That would be my second choice depending on the outfit, right? I would want red first, but if the outfit didn't lend itself to red, I would go with a different chrome color. Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know the skill set of the mortuary nail-tician. Nail-tician. I said like mortician, but nail-tician. Nail technician.
That's too funny.
Of like, could they do some like detail work? Or they're like, look, you get one color.
Red's all we got. Okay.
These are your options.
We're using basic nail polish, no gel, no nothing.
Because I do enjoy a designed French tip.
Yes, you do.
Like, especially when it's got the contrast of like, you've got like the one color and then like a pinstripe, you know,
I
kind
love
of like
the pinstripe. Agreed.
So many different combinations of like a pinstripe French tip. So I could also be down for that, but mindful that takes a different level of skill.
Of course. Of course. Also, like, can I call Rosie in? Like, what can I?
Oh my gosh.
I got to get my girl involved in this.
Rosie, we have a request.
Rosie, we're so sorry. Lyssa has passed, but she had one last request for you.
And they're quiet, right? They're not gabbing with you. They're not flinching. Or when I actually got these done, I accidentally, like, I don't know if I mentioned this, I bopped the side when I put it in the thing.
You did. You mentioned it.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's not happening.
No.
So I was like, anyways, I just thought it was so interesting. And it brought me...
I've never thought about it.
It brought me so much joy to know that either someone thought of this for this lady who had passed, of like,
Truly.
She would really want this done, or she had thought ahead of time to like make that request that she would want that done. That just, there's so many things to think about in your passing that, like, I feel like nails just does not cross people's minds.
It never crossed my mind. I never thought about this.
Or career paths. You're like, oh, you know what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, like I've never thought about that for any nail techs. Like I love my nail tech and I've never thought that that could be an option for her. Like and I doubt she's ever even thought about it. Like that's just so wild. But I do think, like, for example, you know, I think about my loved ones who have passed and stuff like that. Like I know which of the people in my life care about their nails being done, right?
Yeah.
Like I would hope that most people have somebody in their life who knows them well enough to be like, her nails don't look good. That's a problem.
It would mean a lot to them.
She would not be caught dead in this casket, literally, with her nails chipped, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I would hope that, like, my sister or you or, like, somebody in my life would be like, those don't look good, and she would lose it, right? Like, I just think that that's, like, it's a different way of loving your loved ones to know how they would want to be represented even after death. Like, I just think that that is such, like, a beautiful way to love someone and to really think about those details in their passing.
Yeah, or how, like, did they always style their hair a certain way? So, like,
did they wear a certain blush? Did they wear a certain eyeliner color, lip color, things like that? Like, I think all of those things are such subtle details specific to women that, like, a lot of people don't think through in
I do think
grief
it's kind
and
of
death.
like a last act of love, right?
100%.
Like, because you know this was important to them, so you're showing up for them
when they can't show up for themselves. Like, I just think that's such, like, a beautiful way to honor somebody that you care for, and being the nail tech who gets to honor those people in that way is so beautiful. Like, I've just never even thought about this in my whole life. It's so crazy.
I know.
You brought it up and I was like, I immediately have 80 million things to discuss on this topic.
No, I literally saw it and I was like, we will be discussing this.
Like, this is such a weird thing to talk about, but I feel like it's right up our alley.
Yes. Yes. And no, it's totally on brand for the nails. One other TikTok that I saw just on nails, and then we'll wrap things up. It was this guy and he's like, it must be so hard to be a girl. And I was like, what? Like,
how are we just now realizing this, sir?
I was like,
where have you been?
He followed up by saying, imagine your nails not turning out like your inspo pic. And I was like, that's so real.
The accuracy, dude.
Like you go in, you've like decided.
You have a vision.
You just dropped how much money on these nails and they do not look like what you wanted.
Super upsetting. It's really hard being us.
This guy gets it.
He does, but also you should, there are many reasons.
Oh yeah.
This is one of many.
Yeah. He's like, you know how mad I would be if my nails did not turn out?
Bro, welcome.
And you just spent an hour of your time in like, how much did you pay
all
for
your
those?
money. Yeah. Like,
and they did not turn out how you wanted.
Be so upset.
Like, do they look good? And you're like,
it's happened. It's happened. It's happened before.
I will say my current nails look identical to my inspo pic. So
these
thrilled.
are, I think I told you this last week. Yours currently are some of my favorites you've ever gotten. I think they're so freaking cool.
You'll see them at the expo.
Mine currently did not turn out the way that I thought they would, but I'm not disappointed by it. Right? I was just surprised because it wasn't fully expected.
Yes.
But I'm okay with it, and I love the way they turned out. So sometimes it can go either way.
Oh, yeah. It just cracked me up. I was like, valid.
Yes, you get it, sir. You get it. Thank you.
Thank you for acknowledging.
We feel seen. Thank you for making us feel that.
Yep. Pretty much. But anyways, let us know your thoughts on all the nail things. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up this episode. As always, you can check us out, the Wild Type Podcast, on all the things. You can follow me everywhere, Neptune the Chameleon.
And me as well, at Lyssa's Lizards.
New episodes every Tuesday, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Leave us a comment, drop us a review, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Bye, girlies.